I think two words sum it up, and Jude and Bellingham. The man is absolutely magnificent. You know, I'm Scottish. I don't have a skin in the game. This guy is outshining Harry Kane. He is becoming the most influential and possibly greatest English player of the modern game. He's back-to-back games. He scored 2 goals and has just dragged the team to victory in a way that Roy Keane used to do for Manchester United. You know, he just has this ability to lift the whole team and take them forward.
Shall we begin this morning in Miami? That's England fans almost singing in tune with their unofficial World Cup anthem after beating Norway in the World Cup quarter-final, and both of England's goals came from, well, who else?
Better from England. First effective set piece of the day. Saka again, standing it up towards the far post, but a little bit too deep. And Margahey will run round it and recycle it. Back from him to Eza. Eza near the edge of the penalty area. Morgan Rogers coming onto it. Right footing. Good try. Spilled by the goalkeeper. And bundled in. England lead. It is Jude Bellingham again.
Oh, high drama. It finished 2-1 after extra time. Here were Jude Bellingham's thoughts when it was all over.
Character, perseverance, even when things weren't working. We found a way to win the game again. Whether it's in 90, 120, we'll get everything we've got. You saw that there. Whoever was ready to come on came on and smashed it. So so proud of this team once again in a World Cup semi-final.
Well, among those cheering on England in Miami were Kirsty Allsop, friend of the programme, property expert, TV presenter, who flew out to Florida just for the game, and she sent us this voice note.
God, where do I start? I'm still in the stadium. There's a lot of celebrating going on, but also they're watching the Switzerland-Argentina game, and Argentina have just scored, I think, by the look of it. And it was an extraordinary experience, absolutely extraordinary. The tension, the heat, the camaraderie, the fans, the passion. I had always wanted to do this, and I had always wanted to go to an England game, and now I am addicted, and there may be no going back. And I feel really incredibly lucky. I was a guest of the FA, and it was extraordinary. I'm really, really genuinely lost for words. It was just wonderful, and you felt every single move. You didn't look away for a second. You didn't talk to the person next to you. You didn't stop concentrating. You were just absolutely glued to that vast patch of green, and it was magical. It was really magical, and I'm very, very, very grateful. And I would tell anybody to do anything that they can to actually go to a game when their country is playing, because it's something really special.
The wonderful Kirsty Allsop. Right, also in the stadium was Times Radio's World Cup correspondent Les Snowdon. Hello, Les.
Hi, Calum, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Let's just observe that we're beginning the programme with 2 Scotsmen talking about England advancing to the semi-final of the World Cup. I just think we should declare something of an interest in that. How was the match? We kind of made reference to the fact that Jude Bellingham, once again, England's saviour. Thomas Tuchel was pretty down, actually, about England's performance. I mean, they won, they're through, so what matters is that. However, there is that conversation to be had, isn't there?
It was ugly, Calum. It was ugly, it was gritty, it was lucky. They were resilient, but I think two words sum it up, and Jude and Bellingham. The man is absolutely magnificent. You know, I'm Scottish. I don't have a skin in the game. This guy is outshining Harry Kane. He is becoming the most influential and possibly greatest English player of the modern game. He's back-to-back games. He scored 2 goals and has just dragged the team to victory in a way that Roy Keane used to do for Manchester United. You know, he just has this ability to lift the whole team and take them forward.
How does he do that? Because also in this match he came on, didn't he, as a sub? So what is it that he does when Bellingham appears?
No, Bellingham was on from the start.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
I think what he does is he carries himself with a great deal pride and passion, and he just seems to be able to get the best out of the players around about. And even if they aren't playing well, Calum, he just raises his game. Now, I don't know whether, are you aware of this controversy over his first goal? In the UK?
And the spider cam. Just tell us a bit more about that.
So there was an assist by the spider cam, which is quite a strange thing to imagine. The Norway keeper clears the ball. It's got a trajectory that you'd imagine a goalkeeper's ball to come, and then it just drops from the heavens at the feet of Anderson, who feeds it out wide. The ball's played into him, and he slots it home. And the Norwegian keeper saying to the referee, "Did you not see that?" And the referee, if he had seen it, should have stopped the game. There should have been a drop ball to Norway, and they should have cleared it. FIFA put out this hasty and absolutely nonsense statement saying that the chip in the ball hadn't been activated. So a ball that is supposed to be able to determine whether it's landed on a hair of a head and can get somebody offside or not offside doesn't register when it hits a cable that runs to spider cam. It was just extraordinary. I mean, that's not to deflect from the fact that this man is just growing into this tournament and is becoming the biggest name of this tournament.
Yeah,
that's a bit of hyperbole in there, because clearly Messi and Mbappe would have something to say, but as England roll on, he's just becoming the thing at this tournament.
Yeah, another triumph for Mr. Magoo there. Am I right, Les?
Yes, Mr. Magoo wouldn't have seen that one, would he?
No. Gianni Infantino, the boss of FIFA, who has been at the heart of, well, everything that's been wrong with this tournament, I think it's fair to say. Talk to us about the conditions that they were playing in as well, Les, and the heat primarily.
Extraordinary. I was at the mix zone at the end, and the England goalkeeper Pickford said a lot of things. He's a very nice man and was very proud of the result. But he said that it was worse than Mexico. He said that he felt that the humidity was just almost unplayable. And again, I don't know whether you're aware of it, but there was a frisson of controversy in as much as, you know what Tuchel said, but afterwards it was put to Bellingham that the manager wasn't particularly impressed with the performance.
Yeah.
And good on him, he had the chutzpah to say, well, he probably doesn't understand what it's like to play in a game like this, which is not something you should say to your manager, but I don't think there's any risk of him being dropped. And these guys, it was uncomfortable walking to the stadium. It was uncomfortable sitting in the stadium. So what it was like to run about for 120 minutes, goodness only knows.
Yeah. And should we consider the performance of Norway in all of this as well? There's a great picture of Bellingham and Erling Haaland hugging at the match as well. And I just think it's worth reflecting on how Norway performed.
Norway were magnificent, but Haaland wasn't. I thought Norway were very physical, but also creative. There was a lot of passion in there. They played with a lot of pride. Very small country, but I thought they were excellent. Haaland, on the other hand, was he wasn't at the races. The first action from the kickoff, the ball goes to Haaland, and he becomes the meat in a sandwich between two England players and falls to the ground. That's about all he did all game.
Yeah.
He was just completely anonymous. His head went down, his shoulders went down. He was clearly struggling to run in that heat.
It's interesting that, isn't it? It's interesting how it affects some of the world's best players in such different ways as well. Some rise to the occasion and some really have to sort of crumble in those conditions.
Well, you've got Messi at 39, who's an old man by your standards, Calum, but a young man by mine. But he's playing 120 minutes. You know, he just seems to be able to keep going. Whereas, Haaland, you're observing him from a long way up, but he did genuinely look as if he was struggling in the heat.
And when we consider then that England will go on to play Argentina now in the semi-finals of the World Cup, what needs to change? If Tuchel's unhappy with their performance tonight, they still manage a victory against Norway. What needs to change between tonight and the semi-final in order that Thomas Tuchel would be happy, I suppose, with the performance?
I think he's very happy, as he should be, with the passion that England are showing, but they're clearly not listening to what he's saying on the training ground, and there's not a consistency of passing and movement. He seems to be standing and screaming at them to go forward more rather than to go sideways and backwards. But I think they've got a real chance against Argentina. I think Argentina are weak at the back. They struggled against a 10-man Switzerland. It took them into extra time to overcome them. I think England make it to the final. I mean, I genuinely think the real final is the other semi-final, because I think the two finest teams in the tournament are France and Spain. But I think England can get to the final and face either of those teams and give them a game.
Yeah. Les, it's great to speak to you. Did you enjoy it? Was it good to be there? What was it like in the ground?
It was. It's a fantastic stadium, and the atmosphere was incredible. The fan zone was a real fan zone because everybody had a fan in their hand. But no, the Norwegians were rowing. The England fans have changed, in my view. There was no boorish behaviour at all. They've even got a song that wasn't just Ingerland, Ingerland, Ingerland. And, there was a real joyous feel to it. And it was an ugly game, but I found it compelling.
Yeah. Great to speak to you, Les. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us. That's Times Radio's World Cup correspondent Les Snowdon in a sweltering Miami.
Yeah, hopefully with a fan to keep him, to keep the humidity off him.